Like it or not, there are beggars in Singapore. But is it illegal to be a beggar or to sell tissue paper in Singapore? Watch on because you might be surprised that it's kind of illegal, yet also not illegal. So, for a start, we need to know the definition of a beggar. Here's the thing, is the auntie selling tissue paper outside the MRT considered a beggar? How about the uncle who tries to sell you keychains while you're waiting for your food in the hawker center? Or is a beggar merely one who sits at one corner with a tin can in front of him? Well, for that, we have to look at the Destitute Persons Act 1989. This law is meant to provide for the care and rehabilitation of destitute people. It gives the Director General of Social Welfare the power to require destitute persons to reside in welfare homes or for the minister to establish welfare homes and more. But if you look closely at the Destitute Persons Act, you'll realize that the law actually defines what is considered begging in Singapore. Under Section 2, Subsection 2 of the law, a person is deemed to be begging if their conduct is calculated to induce the giving of alms. Alms is basically just a cheap word to say clothing, money, or food given to poor people lah. And the person will be deemed to be begging whether or not there is any pretense of singing, praying, performing, offering anything for sale or otherwise. So, what does this mean? The uncle who randomly walks up and asks you for $5 to buy gohyong after diving into a 10-minute rant about how difficult his life has been, that's likely the most classic example of what is deemed to be begging. But things like selling tissue or singing is a bit more complicated because it depends on whether they have a license. Logically speaking, it sounds like the auntie who asks you to pay up $1 after pushing a pack of tissue paper into your face might be deemed to be begging because it does sound like her conduct was calculated to induce you to give her money under the pretense of offering tissue for sale. But hold your horses. At the same time, there are tissue sellers who are licensed to sell tissue under the street hawking scheme, so that's not begging. Similarly, there are buskers licensed to busk under the busking scheme, so that's not begging. So, you can see that there are some overlap between what is deemed to be begging under the Destitute Persons Act and what are completely legal activities when the person has the appropriate license. Therefore, the line is quite blurred lah. But the real question is this, what about those who are clearly begging for money without even pretending to sell tissue or whatnot? Or just tissue paper sellers who don't have a license? Because let's face it lah, we all buy the tissue paper not because we need it, but because we want to help. For this group of people, we can then call them beggar for the sake of this video. So, is that illegal in Singapore? If you're looking to advertise your business in this channel, we can help you. There are guaranteed views and many big brands have trusted us. Just click on the link in the description. You'll be surprised at this. The short answer is yes, it is illegal to be a beggar in Singapore. And yet, not really. You see, under Section 4 of the Destitute Persons Act, it is illegal to be a habitual beggar. Not just any beggar, but a habitual one that is, disturbing others. But what does it mean to be a habitual beggar? Here's what Section 4, Subsection 2 of the Destitute Persons Act says. A habitual beggar means a person who on at least 2 previous occasions was found begging in a public place in a way that caused or is likely to cause annoyance to persons frequenting the place or otherwise cause a nuisance and subsequently was required on these 2 occasions to reside in a welfare home. Yeah, basically, to be considered an illegal beggar, you kind of need to be creating repeated nuisance and refuse help. Once a person is found to be a habitual beggar, they will be guilty of an offence and can be liable to a fine of up to $3,000 or to imprisonment of up to 2 years. This is found in Section 4, Subsection 1 of the Destitute Persons Act. For example, if they are caught twice, they are given the chance to be sent to a welfare home to receive help. If they are caught the second time, they will also be given another chance and sent to welfare home again. Only when they are caught the third time, then they might kena a fine or be sent to Changi. In other words, the authorities will extend help to beggars first before penalizing them, in recognition of the fact that these beggars are likely to be destitute. And that's the spirit we should also try to bring to the table. Instead of taking your phone out to film yourself, buying food for beggars, treating them as props for your next TikTok video, you can call the Comcare hotline at 1-800-222-0000 to help MSF officers to help these beggars. Therefore, here's the short and easy summary. Only beggars who cause nuisance and refuse to be helped and continue to disturb others are considered illegal. Kind of like my colleagues. Anyways, now that you know this, do you know that it's also illegal if you are naked at home? Yeah, I kid you not. Watch this and you understand. Also, if you want to advertise with us, even as a standalone video, do contact us. Thank you for spending almost 4 minutes with me. I really appreciate it and hope you learned something.